don't think I want to wear these.
He ain't wearing that crap.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Him and Stone refuse the headphones.
Well, Si,
Nobody emailed me the agenda of what we're talking about.
We got none.
Oh,
well, I think
you got it then.
I was kind of wondering.
Welcome to episode 430.
Is that where you're at?
I have no idea.
Damn, that's amazing.
424.
424. Hadn't had a plan yet.
Congratulations.
Why start?
Why start?
Yeah. You'd hate to screw it up, wouldn't
I'd screw the whole ball up.
you? Yeah.
Don't overthink it.
Don't throw no wrenches in the machinery.
It's best.
You good, Hunter?
I bought Phil some sweatpants at Academy. We'll see.
Yeah.
Good purchase.
I'm so nervous.
I've got to order it. So.
Let's not get
I
into.
don't know what size.
let's not get
I've
into
never
the
shopped for
details of
small
that.
clothing, so
Yeah, that'd be
We won't be talking about that in the podcast.
buying him sweatpants.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to get him to wear sweatpants. I think it'd be easier. Are we talking about Phil and Kay?
I think that's the whole reason we're here. I was
Yeah.
just going to follow your lead. I didn't know
Yeah.
how.
Which meant we're
Hang on.
y'all's lead.
I'll kick it off if y'all ready.
What?
Take it off, son.
All right,
What?
welcome to the podcast, folks.
What?
Okay,
That's
Thank
new.
you. Thank
There
you,
you go.
sir.
we've got guests.
Yeah.
We got Willie
Big ones.
Robertson and Jason Robertson here today.
Thank
Hard
you.
to believe it only took
We're brothers.
424 of them to get them here together.
That's it.
So,
But anyway, my first question is, since I don't get out much, how's Phil doing?
Wow, just jump right to it.
Hey, well, I'm just, I don't get to see him anymore. When people ask me, everybody said, hey, okay, we're praying for Phil. And I said, hey, I appreciate that. Anytime anyone mentions the Robertson names to the Almighty, I'm appreciative of it.
Yeah.
I said, but hey, here, you got to understand. Uncle Si is 76 years old. My brother is 2 years older. He's 78.
Mhm.
Okay. And with age comes a lot of junk that you really don't want. But it's just, that's life.
That's life.
Okay. So mainly that's all I'm telling when you ask me about, how's my brother, he's doing pretty good. He's had better days. Okay. But we're at that age in our life that there's difficulties arise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And
Oh,
especially for, like y'all right now. Okay. The kids.
Yeah.
It's one thing to grow up with your father and watching him do everything and everything else and be the man he once was. Well, it's rough on people to watch someone that they love start going down.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very difficult.
Okay, and look, that's where the Robertson family's at right now. Okay, we're getting old.
Mhm.
Okay, and all we got in front of us is the grave.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's life.
Or the resurrection.
No, that's why it don't bother me.
I try to stay positive.
Well, no, that's why it doesn't bother me. Okay, I know I'm gonna die one day, but hey, guess what? I know the man that done promised me, hey, don't worry about it, dude. I'm gonna raise you up when you get ready.
Exactly.
Okay, so hey, I'm not. Death is nothing but a transfer of where I'm gonna be living.
Change address, boy.
Change your address, baby.
Change your address, boys. I actually speaking of this, but I want to. I'm going to bring up Phil and Kay. Someone, a news organization. I need to ask you this for real. A news organization asked, "Would you do an interview?" Basically, way out ahead of time. So when you pass away, they want to do a
Oh, they want to have that to run.
To watch.
I was going to ask, did you want to interview with this news thing? It'll be when you die.
It won't
and
air
they're
till
gonna
after
do a
he's dead?
yes. But they said it's literally a 10-year, like, because people
They got more.
like sometimes people outlive the person who stuff happens.
What's wrong with these?
Well,
people,
hey,
guys?
you,
What
hey,
kind of-
here's
I
my-
got this request. This
Okay,
is a legit request.
Hey,
I
then
got.
you need to go back with them and tell them, hey, how much?
Oh, my
How much we talking about?
You're gonna charge a
Yeah, I'm gonna
media
charge.
company
You're
to
dead.
interview-
Me
You're
talking about my
dead.
own
What are you
Yeah.
gonna do with
You're
it?
gone.
That's
Hey,
what
look.
you call
I
life
mean, the
insurance.
thing is, do you want to influence the article or not? Like, would you like to tell them personally what they're gonna
Well,
write?
of course I would.
Well,
Well, look.
only if you're paid for it.
Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Technically,
What have
me
you
and Martin
turned
get that.
into,
But
man?
look,
Hey, I don't do nothing anymore unless I get paid for it.
I was
bro.
gonna ask.
Well,
I mean,
then-
I
what are we gonna do with the
Hey.
money? Because then you'll have to leave. I'll tell you what. If
He's
you,
gonna lose it to you in a poker game. What he's gonna do?
You
Right.
could leave the money to me, and I'll spend it in your honor because you're going to be dead. There's nothing to spend money on
I love you
with
anyway.
the Lord.
nephew.
I'm just saying.
I still love you, even if you're talking about spending my money.
you should take all the money and then play poker like he does.
That's
Yeah.
what
Which
I
is
would do.
blowing
Look.
it, which is every combination.
I hadn't
As
got
long as
one
he sees
vice.
2 cards, he's in.
Hey, I hadn't got one vice, and that's play poker.
Yeah.
Okay, I made this money, so hey, guess what?
Right.
I'm gonna do what I want to with it.
And I've appreciated it.
But you're acting like it's so. You could
Yeah,
you could learn how to play
I know
poker
because
better.
you don't get much.
You could learn how to play poker
Oh.
better.
Oh,
I don't.
boy.
You actually don't play poker. You just play.
Bingo.
Yeah, just
Gambling.
Bingo.
maybe I'll hit, maybe I won't, but
No,
I'm
he
gonna be
thinks
there at
he's-
the end
hey,
every
he
time.
thinks he's a Robin Hood. He thinks he's taking from the rich and giving it to the
Talking about
poor.
me? Hey, so I'm not a gambler. That's
will
why
say
I
that.
follow Jesus.
I will say
Oh
that.
boy!
But
And
Mike-
he said he's not a gambler because he don't ever lose. Which that's
No,
a
I'm
bunch
just
of,
saying.
that's a bunch of baloney.
Hey,
Like Jesus,
Oh.
I take charitable donations and use them for good causes.
I will say though, one of the biggest accomplishments of my life ever, and I've done a few things, was I got him to lay down aces because I bluffed him. I bluffed you and you
Well,
folded
hey.
aces.
Yeah.
That's part of the game.
All things
That's
are
like
possible.
no, that's like my top 10 things I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, but you can't
Like-
you can't draw it with
It's right
aces.
around like children and grandchildren.
Yeah, he's got.
I got Si to lay down aces on the river on a bluff.
Mission accomplished. Life
Retire.
I mean, yeah, retire.
Okay, so Phil is yeah, I think he has good, some good days, and some days I'm like, oh wow, and then some days he's a little off, but yeah, we're just trying to. My latest is I'm trying to introduce sweatpants to Phil, where he can wear sweatpants. I think it'll be easier. The whole belt and all that's
No, yeah.
So I wear sweatpants, so I just
Stretchy
purchased.
pants.
Yeah, you need stretchy pants. So
The problem is when you introduce concepts like this, like you did yesterday, he looks over at me. I don't wear sweatpants. So
Well, what are you the fashion model for your
no,
dad?
to get back to your original question, what's happened in our family, and this was not a plan. Both of my
Oh.
parents are struggling. That, like,
Yeah, Kay.
Phil just had a back procedure, which I think is his 6th one in like a year. And Kay had another fall, which she falls a lot, and it was a substantial injury that she's doing pretty well.
Shockingly good.
Yeah. I mean, because when the people that are around them 24/7, because we obviously can't be there at all times, sent me a very graphic picture right when she cut her leg, and it was a horror show. It was severe. I was actually speaking. I was fixed to get up on stage, and I'd see this picture of my mom. I was like, oh man. I was like, get her to the hospital. I got to speak. But so somehow or another, Willie and I got deemed the undeclared representatives of the family because there's a Robertson trait, which is stubbornness, that we all have.
You guys?
Certain degrees, different degrees of it, boys.
And mentally, neither one of them are where they once were
Yeah.
at any
You're
stage.
actually the nicer one because we had to go out yesterday. So it's like good cop, bad cop.
It's
I'm
good
always the bad cop. So and
Well-
Jase is like the good cop, and so
No, I've actually thought about this.
TV
Willie.
show.
So it
About
feels
that.
like Duck Dynasty.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
January is come and gone, but how you doing on those New Year's resolutions? Hopefully you've made a few, and probably some of them are health related. And you might have gotten off track, but I'm here to tell you, you can get back on track. And one easy way to get your health on track is start drinking AG1. It is one of the easiest things you can do for your health, and it's a habit you can actually stick with.
Drink it while it's hot.
I knew you were dying to say that. AG1 is super simple, whole body health in just 60 seconds a day. 1 scoop in a cold glass of water, and you're getting your immune, gut, and stress support. But if you like it hot, drink it hot. There's no rules. Just drink the scoop, and you're getting everything you need. Research has even shown that having a partner can significantly increase the likelihood of habit formation. So do it with your significant other. Start drinking that every morning together. Hey, it's a great Valentine's gift. If you forgot about that, now you need something. Start drinking AG1. You'll love it. I know, hey, on this episode, we're probably going to talk about gut health. It's important to all of us. Staying regular. You need to stay regular. I've noticed since AG1, I'm more regular than ever. Energy level through the roof, focus, laser. It's never too late to create a new healthy habit for 2025. So try AG1 for yourself. It's something I've actually been able to stay consistent with, and that's why we've been partnered with AG1 for so long. And AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/duck to get this offer. Drinkag1.com/duck to start your new year on a healthier note.
This is nothing that all families across the world are not going through, when you're
Everybody, it comes to everybody.
So what happens basically is you're trying to get two people who struggle with thinking rationally. You have two rational members of the family that are trying to resolve a conflict, which is something they don't want to do because they're not thinking rational. And so we go out there, and it is a good cop, bad cop in that setting. But then as soon as we both leave, my other two brothers, then they become the good cop because my mom will call them and say how me and Willie were terrible. Not letting them, they're not letting me do what I want to do. So it's actually all kind of relative. Everybody becomes a bad cop except the two other brothers who don't challenge or confront them. That's why I said somehow we got declared as the spokesman for the
That adds up.
rational behavior.
Yeah.
That kind of tracks.
But know this,
I mean-
this is for both of y'all. Know this, that deep down when they're alone, no one likes to give up their independence.
Yeah.
Okay, and now they have to. Okay, but they know that y'all are doing the best y'all can do for them.
Yeah.
I think you're
They
right.
know that. Okay,
Even though yesterday took
Yeah.
an hour,
now they
one
go
hour.
kicking and screaming, but
Yeah.
deep down in their heart and mind, they know.
I
okay?
think you're right. I think that comes out.
They do.
But it's just the struggle
Yeah.
is
Well,
quite stressful.
Ain't none of y'all ever been known for saying a blanket yes to anything. So, I mean, this ain't.
Well, so it got out that they had moved and all, and news outlets get the
How'd
story.
that get out?
I think
Oh.
Al actually mentioned it.
I
'Cause
thought it
told
was
Al.
you. I
See,
thought it
here
was
we,
you.
here we go. Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
But
here
the
we go.
fact was they both had just gotten out of the hospital. So we're like,
Yeah.
So they did move.
well,
they moved
then,
from the
well,
hospital. No, I'm
no,
saying
they
from the
didn't.
hospital back home. They were.
We
Well,
just have
no,
some
They were
other
in transition.
we have some other places that they can be that's a lot.
that's
So
closer.
we move around.
Because
Yeah.
they're not, if neither one of them can get up and walk or care for themselves, they need 24/7 supervision.
Although Kay is she's walking. I mean, I was there when the night you got the picture, so I went out there when she got from the hospital, and so I thought it's 3:30 in the morning. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to carry Kay. Kay jumps out of that car with her little walker, and just I'm like, oh, this was not what I was expecting at 3:30 in the morning with some
Which
stitches
is
in her.
borderline. If you'd have seen the injury, you would have thought that
It was
a
crazy.
miracle.
Yeah.
Then she plops in a chair, and it was finally 5 a.m. She is just talking my face off. I said, Mom, I've got to go to bed. I haven't done the all-nighter in a while. And so she says, well, make sure you come cook those hamburgers for lunch. I said, okay. And she calls me at 9:30. She's like, what time you cooking those hamburgers? And they eat like on a cruise schedule. So it's always the weirdest
yeah.
time, and she kind of like, I'm
Was
starving. I'm starving.
That was why we had to go to a temporary, place where they could be, because the bottom line is they're kind of spoiled about food.
Oh yeah.
And we're trying to get some
That's
weight.
the one thing Phil has changed on a lot of things, but that, and he won't eat leftovers. I'm like, who doesn't eat leftovers? You know, once he eats it once, he goes, "Nah, I ain't eating nothing."
Because what happens is, in Phil's
in the world.
well, in Phil's mind though, every day is literally a new day. So if anything goes into the refrigerator, once he wakes up, he does not remember when that went in there. So therefore, everything is excluded. So you might as well save a step,
Right.
feed the dogs after you eat, because he's not going in that refrigerator. And it probably one time he got a hold of something that was bad, or so it's psychological.
Well, remember he got that. Remember when he got the food poisoning? How many times have we heard that story in college?
Yeah, I think it was at his
over the
graduation.
potato salad. Man would not eat potato salad because of what happened in 1966.
I think it was his high school graduation or something. Everybody got sick. So then when he got to college, he wouldn't go to his graduation, which then influenced me because I didn't go to my high school graduation.
You didn't go to your high school
We're not big
graduation?
on stuff like that.
Well, my dad said, "Hey, stay away from that."
Yeah, no,
Because of the potato salad.
Exactly.
See the logic
we're
here?
not big on that. Okay. Yeah.
I actually got my diploma like 12 years later. I was just driving by my old high school, and I
Said,
thought,
yeah,
you know
I need
what?
to pick that up.
It's time.
Yeah, I need to pick that up.
And so I
I'm
pulled in.
30 now.
I pulled into the West Monroe little administration, and I said, I'm Jase Robertson on record. It'll be Jason. But I graduated here about 12 years ago. I was just wondering, do you have that diploma here?
And they did?
What really made me feel good about it is they went in there and they had a little stack of them. And I said, oh, other people have done this. They scrolled through there and handed it to me. And I said, well, I'm proud. And so I kind of have my walk of, what do they call it? Walk of fame out the door. Got my truck. I threw it in a box somewhere at home.
I didn't know what today was going to
I
hold.
didn't either.
I knew I
You
wasn't going to
never
miss it
know.
either.
Basically, they're kind of like kids. It's basically you turn back into children. My mom's driving me crazy, which is why I was glad you came, because she was making me. She's like a 12-year-old girl. You know, it's like my girl. She can't drive. She gripes over.
Was difficult.
She's wanting to do stuff she cannot do. That I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do this. You know, because she's injured, and I'm like, you have to rest. And so she's always trying to sneak around me and get this stuff done. So
Well,
it's like
that's why she calls
like
you
I'm
up
the
as soon as you
dad.
leave.
Yeah, it's like I'm the dad and she's a child. But I gotta say that because this is funny. And I actually through this whole process, I have talked to all my children and my wife, and I have said, look, when and if this happens to me, I'm telling you, 100% free reign. Make all the jokes you want to make. And in fact, I'm going to write some too that I'm going to add to the mix. And so, because the humor to me is, so we're at this series.
Do I get that same permission?
Oh, yes. I'm telling you.
Can
Willie's
confirm.
point yesterday, we talked about an hour, and it was a difficult conversation. But then once they relented, mainly Kay, well then we laughed. You know, we literally.
Actually, I was laughing first. Now you weren't laughing at first, but I was like, "That's funny." So we're in this serious part, and Phil like puts his hand like, "Hey, I got something to say here." So I'm not like, "What's Phil?" You know, Phil's gonna bring this to the. I mean, we're in a serious conversation. Phil goes, "Hey, can you slide in a rump roast every now and again?" And I started laughing so hard.
That was funny.
And I said, "Did you just say a rump roast?" He goes, I can't eat this stuff. I gotta have a rump roast. And I'm just falling off the chair laughing because Phil wanted a daggum rump roast.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing at first because I was still
Dealing with
stressed out about the conversation.
He wasn't
that
there
had
yet.
this.
Okay.
So then I realized, I'm Ed McMahon here. So we're laughing now. Everyone's laughing. We're all laughing. And
I couldn't. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like,
which then got in because it's like, my dad hadn't spoken in quite a while during this conversation because Willie and my mom were going at it, and but Phil, it leads then to the rankings. He had a ranking system. He didn't have it written down anywhere in his mind. He's like, all these people have been bringing us food, let me just go ahead and give you the top 3. I'm not gonna name them because all the people that have brought food, which was very nice, and we're very appreciative. But guess what? You didn't make the cut. And but I was surprised because one of the last people that I thought would be on the good list was my wife.
Yeah,
it was like
she made the list.
She was in the top.
She was
3.
on the good. Yeah, she was on the good list.
So y'all
steak.
had to be 2 out of the 3.
So
your family and your family
that is true.
2 out of the 3.
That is true. But you got to realize,
I cooked him a hamburger the other day, and he said, "That's the best meal I've had in 2 years."
well, and that's why we laugh because it's like he also said later, he's like, would it be too much to ask to throw the old man a steak? He said, the whole
conversation was mostly him saying he wanted a steak.
Oh, boy.
Any sort of meat, and particularly a rump roast.
Well, what's funny is he said, I hadn't had a steak in 2 years. Everything's 2 years,
Everything's 2 years.
Willie said, well, I brought you one last Sunday.
Yeah, I was like, within this week. He goes, yep, that's the first one I've had in 2 years.
Which led me to calling Missy saying, get those steaks out of the freezer. Because Willie's like, I'll cook you a steak right now. And he's like, you listening? I put my hands in the air.
He just kept putting his hand like, let's go. And so I literally, Jase brought the steak.
Out. Hey.
I went and got some steaks. Willie cooked them, so they were happy.
He ate about half of it, too. Dad sent me the picture. And he ate about half the steak. I'm like, dadgummit, I sent that steak out there. And a baked potato.
Hey, look, we're excited to introduce you to a brand new partner of our show. This wasn't somebody emailing us, seeking us out. This was our team calling saying, we believe in what you stand for, we believe in your product, and we want you to advertise on our show. I'm talking about Pure Talk, America's wireless company whose CEO is a veteran and served a couple tours in theaters. Veteran stuff is super important. Stone's here today. Si's always here. Y'all know how we feel about our country, about America, and the people who served to fight for our freedoms, to be able to have cell phones. And they're creating American jobs. The worst part to me about a cell phone company is when you got a problem. You got to call them, and I can't understand them, and they can't understand me. But when you call the people over at Pure Talk, you're talking to people in good old Covington, Georgia. Those are good folks right there. And here's the deal. Pure Talk is on America's most dependable 5G network. Same tower, same network as the big guys, but for half the cost. You can get unlimited talk, unlimited text, and 5 gigs of data for just $25. The average family saves over $1,000 a year on their cell phone bill. And I don't know if you know this, $1,000 is a lot of money. And that's just back in your pocket. You keep your phone, you keep your number. That was important to me. I was like, I got to keep my same number if I'm going to do this. So now I've switched over. It's easy. I know because I did it. And I'm now a proud Pure Talk customer. It's great. And here's another thing that I haven't said. They donated $50,000 to support scholarships for veterans learning trades after active duty. They're helping eliminate veteran debt, and they're raising donations to end veteran suicide, all things that the Duck Call Room holds at top priority because those guys make it possible for us to do what we do. So just go to puretalk.com/duck to save 50% off your first month. Make the switch today at puretalk.com/duck and join America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
But that was kind of a peace offering to getting them to realize that they need to stay a little closer for a little longer. So they haven't actually moved, but we had to make a lot of promises. I mean, it's like, because they were worried about their stuff. They're like, well, if we're not there, someone may break in. So then we had to find a guy who, which wasn't hard, who said that he would make rounds down there while armed to make. So if you have any ideas about finding them not there, there's an armed guard.
Yes.
Literally.
Many armed guards.
Start at the top of the hill.
So with many bullets ready, and then they like that. It feels like now we're talking. Yeah.
And so my mom and I were arguing, and she says, well, she said she didn't say something, which I knew she said it. And there's a small circle here of people who she's talking to. And I said, Mom, Kay, you didn't do that. She goes, I didn't say that. And then, so I kept on it. And then finally, Kay says, Well, I've already confessed that, so quit bringing it up.
Yeah.
She said she had made a confession. She confessed
I
it.
think what she said, Willie, is I've already repented. And you said, well, to have repentance, there has to be a confession because she hadn't confessed.
Oh wow!
Well, yeah.
This was. Ooh.
Well, it had gotten bumpy. But I think the whole problem is, I mean, Phil has always resorted to, he's a quarterback. He doesn't like being on the sidelines. And my mom has always been a diva. It's just the honest truth. She has people around her. So they feel like, you're not going to stick me off somewhere.
You just, she's wanting to, it's like the minute we,
Nobody puts
I got a
baby
call
in
later.
the corner, right?
It's like, where are my dogs?
Yeah.
It's like, we'll get your dogs.
we'll get the daggone, those dogs, are, and so we got the dogs, which the dogs are problematic because they scratch mom. And so, so her whole, but.
And calling them dogs is nice.
It's a,
Because they're mutts.
They're not.
Well, she loves the dogs. And
Yeah, I know.
But it's hard, what I'm saying, to get back to the rational behavior, they both got out of pretty rough surgeries. And, they just in case something goes wrong, we as the rational side of people are saying, let's not go way off just in case there's a problem. But they're like, well, I feel fine.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
No issues.
like, okay, you almost cut your leg in half.
Yeah.
They literally have it stitched up. You're in and Phil
She still wants to do stuff. Like Kay still wants to. In her mind, I guess she's thinking like, I can go do it. I'm like, no, you can't. So
they haven't moved. We're just, they have
we're trying to-
procedures and surgeries and things happen, and we're trying to, watch out for them and make everybody that's helping them have a little easier time to keep up with them. But so that was kind of the conflict. I mean, we're getting into the personal stories, but they were like, well, we don't like this arrangement. We want our freedom. It's like, you're 80 years old and you just got out of the hospital. And so I thought the funniest thing that happened that nobody laughed on is because my dad said, well, what are other people? How do they handle this? And I think I said, other people are loading their parents up and dropping them off at a nursing
home and saying, good luck.
Because they don't have places where you can stay. And so, but he was just kind of like, I'm not real sure what you mean by that.
yeah.
But so I was like, you got to remember, we're all pitching in here.
He's forgot when we, with Mama. That
We brought that up, but it's hard to command memories on demand.
Yeah.
And these overall conditions, because what I usually say is like people, because I've been asked just over and over, how's your dad doing? But after, we're in the bowels of this every day. And, it's hard to put that in a one sentence.
Well, that's why I tell you, deep down, they know, okay, and are appreciative of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
it's like you're talking about, the rationale has gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
we had a cool moment, not before this meeting, 2 days before I came out there and where they were in their mobile, being cared for. And it was just kind of awkward, there was tension.
Yep.
So Kay said, well, maybe you can just give us a sermon. So I did. I got my Bible out and gave them a 1 hour, which, look, I will say this, though. It was the most attentive that I've seen, both of them. And they never said a word. And Jeff and his family was there. It turned into a little house church, And really the subject matter was something I've been studying just from our podcast. But I said, well, what if paradise is a person? That's what I asked them. Well, they both were looking away. And when I said that, they just snapped at me because I thought, here they are at the, the end, the back end of their life.
Yep.
And so I read that verse when Jesus was on the cross and,
the thief next to him, that today you'll be with me in paradise.
Yeah. And I said, everybody talks about, what is that like? Tell me about paradise. Of course, they were just glued to what I've said. I said, but I think in trying to figure out what that means, we've missed a little phrase in there that's way more powerful. And then I quoted some other verses that says the same thing. I was like, he said, today you'll be with me.
with me in paradise.
So I talked about being with the eternal Son and what that looks like, his resurrection, and in his presence. And when Paul said, I'm torn because I don't, I want to be in the body, but he says, if I'm away from the body, I'm with the Lord. Same concept.
Yeah.
And so, we talked about it for an hour, but then Kay, so I was interested to see, because it went on for 1 hour. And she said, that was one of the most incredible, encouraging things I've ever heard. But I have one recommendation, which she mispronounced recommendation. Somebody said recommendation. Yeah, that. She said, next time, dumb it down. So we all had a good laugh, broke the tension. But so that's what I'm saying. But it kind of hit me when I left. They've been having so many problems and had so many doctor visits, and they hadn't just heard some good Bible about their relationship. And I think it was a needed moment, kind of for where they're at.
Hey, that's what most people, that's why I said when people talk to me about death, it doesn't mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
Because I know where I'm going. I know who I'm going to be with. I know who I'm going to be surrounded by.
Yeah. Yeah, it's powerful.
That's God, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody that's went before me will be there, and we'll all be together.
Yeah, exactly.
Those that have loved me my whole life.
Yeah. I always think that because they're in the religious world, there's so many ideas about what's going to what's going to be like. And I'm like, it's just like if you're taking a road trip.
Yeah, it ain't about the journey.
Well, the most important part is who's going.
Yeah, who's with you?
Because I'm like, oh, he's in, she's in. My wife's in, I'm in.
Yeah,
it's kind of the way the Bible really dumbs it down in a way, because it is relationship driven.
Something else happened funny yesterday. Speaking of confessions, I've got a confession to make. So I was on a plane. I just spoke in Kentucky, and so I'm on a plane, and it came like a weird, like on an email, but it was like a text attached. I know I needed Johnny D. I needed somebody smarter than me, and it was a young couple.
Put that, Hunter. I need that for my Instagram thing.
It's a young couple that had a baby, and I'm like, I don't know who these people are, and so I was like, I don't know how they got. And it said, I didn't have your number, but here's the picture. And so I was with Chad, and I said, Chad, who are these people? He said, I have no idea. And I said, I don't know who these people are.
Oh, no.
So I didn't know what to do. I was like, it looks like obviously I'm excited for whoever they are because they had a child. And so I just said, congrats. I don't know who that is. And so.
This is fun.
Oh, no. I think I know where this is going.
So yesterday, Chad calls and says, it's Jep's kids. And I said,
Lily had
who
her
is
baby.
Jep's kid? He said, that's who the picture was. And I said,
Jep's kid.
He didn't send it over his phone. It like came through some weird deal. And she had just had her face didn't look the same.
Well, and he had
a medical hat on. And so I didn't.
Boy, I love it.
So then I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, Chad thought I was going to play it off like, oh, dude, of course, But then I just had to call Jeff, and I said, Jeff, man, my bad. You sent me some weird way because he didn't have my number. Like I have a
look,
number.
What's funny?
I didn't have your number for like 6 months.
And I was like, he said he didn't know. I said, man, I just didn't know who. He said, I called out. I was like, Willie must be mad at me because everybody's like, hey, grandpa,
That's a grandpa.
And he said, and Willie just said, congrats.
Well, here, look.
But then I texted on his something different. It was actually about food for mom and dad. And so then Jeff said he called Missy and said, who is this person?
That's what he did.
Who is this person trying to set up all this food? And she goes, that's Willie.
That's your brother.
Neither one of
Willie.
us. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. She told me that backstory because when he sent the text originally that you never saw, he didn't send it on an email. It was me and Al both responded because I was like, oh, but I will admit, at first glance, I thought, who is this? Because they did
They
look
look
a little
different. They
different.
look-
They were in the hospital room. He had
He had,
the,
had the mask on.
Yeah, and
and
it's more
all
on the
that,
baby,
you know.
and so that was the focus. And I'm like, I don't know who these people.
but then I thought, oh, they had the baby. Oh, wow.
And I'm
Well,
like, crap, somebody's got my phone number and they're sending me like
That's when you
personal
got to be
pictures
kids.
of.
so me and Al gave long responses
Yeah.
that were well thought out and encouraging. Willie, nothing.
Congrats.
Congrats.
'Cause it was,
But I didn't get the text that because
you didn't get the
I didn't
text
get all there because then I obviously
because that
would've
number
known.
was no longer in service.
With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%, but you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial, LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC.
Also, something else I want to bring up. This is for actually the crew as well. So my wife chewed me out for being on this podcast, and I don't know if people said it online or whatever, but she said that I had bored face when we when we had the blurry creatures guys on.
What is bored face?
Willie,
So I'm
Willie,
looking bored.
We had
but
Willie involved.
But the
Hold
problem
on,
was
hold
Si
on.
talked for the entire. I couldn't get a word in edgewise. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why did you invite me
About
here
20
if Si's just going to talk to them the whole time? I'm like, why did you tell me to come? I mean,
About 10 minutes in,
There's
Willie
2
reached into
podcasts-
his bag of rubber bands and just.
I know I need a rubber band. So it was only matched by the first time Jase invited me on their podcast, and I get my first question at 49 minutes, and I'm sitting here going, "Why did you invite me if you're literally going to talk the whole time?"
They're not even
Like,
going to let you talk.
So, well, you did it too. So you
Well,
talked
hey,
the
I'm sorry.
entire
Hey.
time. So I was preaching and taught. So I just want to say, I didn't mean to have bored face.
It's a
I
good
don't-
gig if you can get it.
Well, I mean, I wasn't trying to make a
Amen.
bored face, but like, so whoever said that, or if somebody
we got a lot.
commented-
Our fans are more
Oh.
negative than the unashamed fans.
Yeah.
It's okay to be bored. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was not trying to show it on my face. I don't want to have bored.
It's
but
when
I
the
mean,
rubber bands come out and you start
Hey,
doing the
that's-
rubber band.
hey,
Willie
look,
thing.
You're
That's
saying that. I
that's
desperately
welcome
need a
to the
rubber
Robertson
band
family.
now.
It's better to be
You know?
have a bored face than an RBF face. I
That's
guess.
true.
So.
well, that's why we interrupt everybody because that's the only way to get a word.
I think so. If you're going to say something, you just got to say it. Interrupt them.
Whether
You know what's
somebody's
funny
talking or
about
not.
so then they invited me back on Unashamed, and I think I was talking about my book, and so I'm telling them all about the podcast over. Jason, well, you made up for it with that one. I made up for the 49 minutes of not getting asked a question. Yeah, you got your
You're-
time in there. So.
You've
Yeah.
about averaged out to
Like,
2 normal ones.
Be careful what you wish for. No, it goes back to Tombstone. You know, sometimes you forget you're there. Get to talking.
Oh,
Like,
I forgot you were there.
Oh, you're
Oh.
here.
That's funny.
I get it,
my
'cause-
goodness
But
gracious.
y'all do these podcasts all the time, and I don't obviously. I'm a professional fill-in, but
You had a podcast one time,
I did,
me and you.
yeah.
It was weird.
Hey,
But I
Willie,
realize how much y'all have to talk.
Willie been
Like, y'all
doing
have
this
to
so
talk a
long.
lot, so-
Willie had a radio show. Forget podcast. Willie was
I
on
did
talk
have-
radio. Willie Robertson's Wild Live.
I totally forgot.
It was
about
me
that.
and you like every Tuesday.
Do you know why he?
Ah,
And then
I
Mountain
forgot
Man
about
made the
that. I
spinoff.
did have a radio
Yeah.
show.
You know why he
Remember
tries?
JR?
You know why
Yeah.
he tries these things for a little bit and then try something else? Because
Yeah.
it looks like it's not that much involved.
Until
Oh,
you
it's
get there.
it's.
You
I
know.
don't know how y'all do it. It's mine.
Yeah, you're like, oh, we'll just get on there and talk.
Yeah.
You know. and,
Yeah,
boy, I got about 6 months into that, and I thought, I'm running out of soap here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start doing some studying.
yeah.
Running out of soap.
Well,
How many have y'all? How many have you done?
Y'all are almost done.
Oh,
I've
probably
done
1,000.
1,040,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
So 1,000. It's over.
Over
1,000.
1,000. Yeah.
Um,
That's
every
a lot. Hey, that's a lot of talking when you say you don't what?
How long are they? 1,000, and how long?
They're
are
like
they?
50 minutes.
So that's like 1,000.
1,000.
Hold on, my computer's locked in my truck.
I mean,
in my
might as well do
driveway.
the
hours
quick
of
math of
talking.
1,000 hours divided. How many days
That is 41 days
But I'll tell you this.
straight.
and nights?
No
you know
sleep.
why I keep doing it?
40
Is
days.
I've learned more from doing that podcast. Not you'd think, we're
Wait a minute,
reaching.
how do you saying you've learned more? You're the one talking.
Because I'm studying.
Are you
in
learning from
between.
yourself?
I'm learning because I'm studying.
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Yeah.
why I love coming to the Unashamed. I always
Gotta bring
go
your A
away
game.
from there way smarter than I was when I arrived.
Well, I'll just
I don't
tell you
know.
this.
this.
Oh, boy.
Y'all
But
covered
Si,
some
if this
good
is the
stuff.
condition you're in and way smarter, I'm unsure about your definition of way smarter.
A little
Right,
bit
it's
smarter.
for
You
real.
still don't see it
Uh,
as
maybe-
No, it's for real.
Maybe he has
No.
a retention problem. He
Well,
learns in the moment. Just
No, it
doesn't
ain't a
retain.
attention problem.
Well,
I
it's
come
retention.
away with a lot of jewels that I didn't see before.
So
Every
so
time
look,
he does go on Unashamed, he comes back here like mad about something.
Yeah, he
And
like,
then just starts
Oh.
yelling about some part of the Bible that he's mad
Yeah, I
at.
never have
well,
to
that's
wonder
what he was
what y'all
doing that
talked
day.
about.
He was like, yeah.
well, like before. So today's my off day, even though I came up here.
Well, thank you.
Hey,
We appreciate you
that.
doing it.
So on
We
my off
appreciate that.
days, I study.
Yeah.
So I studied 4 hours before I came up here. If I talk to y'all about what I studied the last 4 hours, I literally think y'all would be like the Raiders of the Lost Ark. You'd
just
start
melt.
melting.
Our faces
Would
would
we
melt
have,
off.
would
He
we-
chose
do you think we'd have
poorly.
board face?
Well, hey, speaking about that, what are we talking about on tomorrow's episode?
Oh,
Are you on it?
Yeah.
Hang
I'm
on.
not sure yet.
Well, he just
Oh,
said
well,
if
hey.
he tells you your face is gonna melt off.
yeah.
And then
you
you
already
worried
had,
about
you already
it.
had
Hey,
that
let's
happen
talk
a few
about-
months ago,
Hey,
so we don't want to do
You
that.
got to
Oh, wait,
save your. You
Well, instead
save
of calling
it.
milk inside, call me
Your face is
cyborg.
gonna melt off tomorrow.
Hey,
So
well, hey,
he's size on Unashamed tomorrow.
Yes.
Just make sure you got
wow.
that steroid cream.
So here's what you need to do.
because God
Si.
said to me, "You are a new creation, Si Robertson." I said, "Roger that."
Look, here's what you need to do, and it'll go viral on the internet. You ready?
Oh, wait.
No, Look,
No, look.
Well,
hey,
we
hey,
had two no-nos.
That's right.
Uh-oh, dueling no-nos.
Because look,
Here we go.
Si, if somebody saw you walking down the street, didn't know who you were, they would think all you needed was a sign saying the end is near. So look, what you should do is go out in the parking lot and put, based on what we just talked about, just have a sign. Look
I'm gonna have a
and
sign.
say,
It
look,
ain't gonna say the
it
end.
needs to say the beginning.
I said,
is
"Hey,
near."
the beginning is starting
Exactly.
Soon.
And they'll
It's here.
and
The
then-
beginning is here."
and then when they pull up and ask you what the sign's about, you can tell them about Jesus.
That's right.
Oh.
So that's what we'll talk
That's
about.
the question
tomorrow.
you need to ask them.
That
The
is-
beginning is happening. Are you ready?
Who is? Who else is it? Si? Who else are your guests?
Well, it'll be Zach and Al. Oh no,
No,
Zach.
Zach.
Oh, because he's in England.
Who is?
So,
England.
so it'll be
England.
me, Al. And
Zach
you.
is in England.
That's why you're
Zach's
replacing
in
Zach.
England.
Well, that ain't big shoes.
So we
They got a guy that
That's-
uses
I
big
almost
words
talked
that
him
nobody
today.
knows
That's
what they
funny.
mean for
Yeah.
a guy that uses big words that he can't pronounce.
Yeah,
It's
they got-
perfect swap.
no. The name of the podcast is going to be Apologetics to Insanity, living out of your mind for Christ.
There you go.
That's actually.
Well, I
a
feel
verb.
that, Bill, baby.
That's a good one.
Fully,
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Nailed it.
Yeah,
That's right.
Well,
that tracks.
100%.
Zach's actually, yeah, he's over there with Jordan Peterson, so he's getting some intellectual stimulation over there.
Ain't that where the rest of your family is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm
everybody.
fixing to be there.
Are you
Going
going?
there?
Oh, I gotta go to jolly old England.
Gotta go to Jolly Old England.
I'm not a
I
big
know,
England kind of
that's my
fella.
dream location because
Where?
yeah, anywhere in England because as a treasure hunter they let you treasure hunt anywhere.
Oh.
And now you don't get to keep what
Lots
you find.
of treasures in
but you
England.
can take a picture of it,
And that's why America's better.
and
You
they'll
can keep what
Oh,
you,
you
find.
can't.
hold
keep
on.
That's why I
You
would
can't-
rather go to the marsh.
wait for it. Here's the rule: you can take a picture with it, and then they will give you the monetary value.
Oh, that's
of
better
this
than the
thing.
stuff for sure.
But they take it. Who assigns the value?
The government. And we don't know if that's a king or a congress. We don't even know. How
Well,
many
if you
governments they
find
got?
a coin from a gold coin from the year whatever 19, I'm pretty sure
So what happens if you dig it up and you just put it in your pocket and go on about your
They'll
business?
put you in jail.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if you didn't know?
You
The
find the
government-
coin, you can't keep it.
I just
Yeah.
told you what their
the
situation
rules.
was.
USA.
Part of
Oh,
this.
no.
This is the
There's
rule.
lots of treasure hunters.
There's
in
lots
jail
of stuff
in
about
England.
man,
What?
treasure hunting.
Yeah, so that'll be a prison
You're a
ministry.
treasure hunter, not a
Yeah.
pirate.
Yeah, you can.
Man
start
knows a lot about
prison
treasure
ministry.
hunting. But I will say this: what like that's your bucket? Like you can make that happen. Like
Well,
you
let's
can book
make
a
it
flight
happen.
and go to London. I mean,
Well, you're a guy who knows people. Let's make it happen.
well,
I'm in.
I'm saying like
He wants
I
somebody
think
else to pay for it.
What
That's
is
what-
y'all's deal? Everything's got a price.
It's
Yeah.
always better if someone else pays for it.
Just like
son.
that rump roast,
No,
son.
I don't mind paying my own
I'm
way.
saying, Jace.
I need
He's
access.
done all right. He's done
He needs
pretty good.
access.
Well, I need
So-
well, I sent Zach on the mission. I said, find me access to land
the land, so I can.
because you
treasure
still
it.
have to get permission.
Oh, we
fine.
just need to go hit up them people
I
in
know,
Scotland
I know tons of people. Yeah, I can.
when we play golf there at the American Club. Whatever
well, it's
that,
gotta
the
be on a-
Renaissance
Jace
Club.
wants to go.
I don't want to just do the whole country. I want some kind of site where something happened
Ah,
to give
there
me
you go.
better odds of finding something.
Yeah, like something
Well,
out of
there's a
Braveheart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That-
There's
some
a
them
lot of
battles.
stuff happening in London. There's probably no telling what all's buried in them hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack the
I
Ripper
would
was
love
there.
to do it, and I'll do a Jesus seminar in between at night.
Go. Now, you gotta have Jesus.
Well, there's a lot
a
in the
good-
Bible about finding treasure.
Yeah.
You find
Jesus
treasure,
seminar.
You know, you put it
A lot
back.
about treasures, I do. Yeah.
Hey, Brett, the
Don't
Brits need Jesus too.
No, they're well. What are they? Post. What do they call it?
Huh?
Like it's over. Like the churches are empty. Post.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm saying
Yeah, there's
Jesus
no- there's-
himself.
Yeah, it's
look,
like I can't think of the term. Ask Zach. He'll know.
getting back to our heaven and earth being connected through Jesus. He actually used that as an
I like it.
illustration when he said there is rejoicing in heaven and on earth when someone
when one
returns to
comes back.
God. And he used the illustration like when a woman found a lost coin. So
You
that's
threw a
where
party.
yeah, that's where I got the idea to go treasure hunt. And I thought if the creator of the universe is using this hobby as an illustration
I mean,
heaven and earth rejoicing, I might need to go get me a metal detector. Find something.
What'd you always say whenever I figure out how to buy a plane ticket online? You lose. No, buy stuff from Amazon.
yeah, that was a
I
big
would
word.
take picture. I would go to Amazon, take the picture,
He would
send it to
screenshot
him,
a picture of
and
the
say, "Buy
add
me,"
to cart button,
and I would say,
send it
"Buy
to
me this."
Yeah. What's even cooler is now they got a little button that says buy now. You don't even have to add it to cart. It just does it for you. Just-
Okay.
I don't even know what they're talking about. Do you, Si?
I still know Willie's credit card number by heart.
Johnny didn't knew all my numbers. Like he was like Rain Man. He was
Yeah.
like,
37271. Oh wait, we shouldn't do that
Yeah.
one.
Whoa. Yeah. Pipe,
That one expired in May of 18.
I'm still trying to figure out when you have a cart in the grocery store parking lot, is it my responsibility to take it to the said location?
Oh, I'm about to get
Yeah.
blasted.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
If you use a
Absolutely
shopping
not.
cart full
You
of
just leave
whatever
it?
you
Just leave it
bought,
out there.
Well, I
and you
take it
go
over
to the
there.
parking lot, you unload everything in your truck, you're supposed to take that and put it where it says put it.
yeah.
But isn't that their job?
no.
No, they've got a
You're
guy
gonna
to
get
collect
We're
blasted.
them
living
and
in a
bring them back in.
society here. Like we all should.
This
take-
is a
it's easier
community
for you
thing.
to bring it over there than the poor guy out there.
It's a
having to-
community thing.
People
Poor
that-
guy out there, he's being paid.
The cart is for your
Being
use.
paid to go get him from the spot that he's supposed to get him from.
So I only
You
use this
lazy
as an
sucker.
analogy to say if we can't agree on an actual physical cart, why would I want to try to have an imaginary cart and figure that out on the
Well,
internet?
It's not imaginary. Like
It's
you'll-
a real
you'll get
cart.
stuff.
You
It
the
is
kind of
not
guy.
a
People call
real
it a
cart.
bag.
You're the
This
kind
is-
of guy
this
that wears
is
your
about
seatbelt under your arm, ain't you?
appreciation. This is about appreciation.
No.
We give you a shopping cart to load your goods in to take it to the truck. Have the courtesy to return it and put it back where it goes.
Put it back
for
and
the next
don't
person.
be a Johnny D.
I
Well,
put it back.
and it's
But you
20
shouldn't
Yeah.
judge people that don't.
Hey,
Oh,
it's
I'm
2025
certainly
though. They'll bring that stuff
Judge
to
not,
you.
lest ye be judged.
I only brought this up to bring back the words of my dad, Phil, who would
I
say
want a rump roast.
on the internet,
I want a
where
rump
is
roast.
the actual cart?
It-
Show me the cart,
it's in binary. It's all ones and zeros.
and I'll give you my money.
Okay, I gotta. But speaking of Phil, How many times do you think Phil ever pushed a grocery cart in his life?
I'd say 0.
We're going with 0, not even 1.
Yeah, because
No,
I think
I really don't think Phil. I never saw it in my.
Well,
I
I'll give
think-
you one
Hold on,
illustration.
one.
I
I'll
never
tell
saw
you why.
Phil grab a grocery cart
No.
and push it.
The only time I saw Phil in a grocery store was in Idaho, because that was the same day that it was Halloween. We didn't know it was Halloween
How did you not know it was Halloween?
because we were on a duck trip.
That's right. We were on a duck trip.
You didn't have a calendar?
They actually gave us an award, which was a $25 gift certificate, because they thought our natural look were costumes.
That's right. They thought we was in
Costumes.
Costume.
That's right. Costume.
So look, so Phil said, "Hey, this is the only time I ever saw him in grocery store." He said, "Hey, Jase, you're the youngest. Grab one of those carts."
Have it.
So Phil, the way he used carts is whoever's the youngest
That's the
Drive
pushes
the
the
cart.
golf cart.
Oh, well, I remember even on the hunting trips we went on, it was all Phil sat in the truck and gave us a list to go in and get.
That's right. Go get
He
it.
never
Get
even
some-
went in?
No,
No.
he'd sit in the truck.
But he's one of the greatest cooks we all know.
Mm-mm.
But he never went in a
Oh, he
grocery
cooks it.
store.
But hey, he don't
No.
shop for it.
He evolved.
Now, I would say if Phil, because Phil probably when he went grocery shopping, they probably didn't have carts yet. It was just, I mean, I don't
yeah,
know.
they know because
No, he
They probably just toted a
Kay
bag out.
told me that when they were living in Kansas, when he was working on an oil field or something. That's when he was in college.
Yeah.
Actually, by the way, college football, and you had to work in the summer in some other state. But she said she would push the grocery cart all the way to their apartment because it was close.
Oh,
So they did have a cart.
Well, I
Yeah.
think as a quarterback, he just deemed that not his.
yeah, that
That's
ain't.
not a job.
They ain't
That's
one of
what it
his
needs
roles.
me.
I push a grocery cart every day. Like
Me
I
too.
go there
That's
every
true.
day.
I love going to the grocery
Look, hey,
Now, I
that
could
ain't
have the
no-
same
that ain't no
argument.
I'm about
big
to
deal.
blow
I could have the
Jason's mind.
same argument on. I'm trying to think the last time Corey pushed a grocery cart, which
No.
I'm
I
at least
had
at
no.
20 years ago. So.
No, I'm not.
My grocery cart's right here on my phone, and then
Oh, I
somebody
tell
just
you what.
sets it
Hey,
at my
I can
door.
tell you when the last time she pushed it. She had a child in it, pushed it just
Well,
for
that-
the
yeah.
first ride.
My wife has become such a great cook that she'll say, "I got to go to the grocery store," and I'll say, "Please allow me."
Please.
I love going to the grocery store.
I would never let Corey pick because Corey she'll call me and it's like she's at
Yeah, but hey,
it's like she's
talking
at
about
Disney World.
y'all's
She's
dad.
like, "Did y'all know? Did you
They
know
have
they
about
have
y'all's
this?
dad.
Like, you ever notice
Whose
the
motto is,
refrigeration
who's
is
the
all
man?
the way around the back?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Okay,
Corey,
so
it's
hey, he
all
ain't
the
pushing no
grocery
store.
grocery cart.
So having said that, we appreciate the prayers.
Yeah.
I did see an uptick in my dad's demeanor and overall countenance when we kind of went public with this. So, which is why I'm coming up here on my day off. We appreciate the prayers because there's no doubt in my mind that caused, I think, a peace in his spirit.
Yeah.
When that happened.
Well, and
That's a lot of people praying.
Yeah, and I spent the last weekend in Nashville too, and there were a lot of people that come up and said, "We're praying for Phil,
Yeah.
for Phil." So they're still at it, and we are all appreciative of it. And also, thank y'all for taking y'all's time to come in and sit down and chat with us.
Yeah,
You're always welcome here.
Yeah.
We're not ever
Especially
really going to
together.
ask.
Did Jace tell you
so-
it was his day off? Has he
No,
said
yeah.
that? Did
Yeah,
he say
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's mentioned
I-
that about 5 times.
I mean, I feel like I'm have to. I feel like I'm have to kiss the ring at
I
some
got it.
point.
I got it.
We're appreciative, sir.
He showed up on his day off. Okay, I got it.
No, and
I almost,
we
did-
appreciate
I almost didn't come, but then Jay said, well, "I'll see you tomorrow." I was like,
That's why
"Why
when
am I
Phil-
seeing you
Bill
tomorrow?"
and Kay said, "Hey, preach to us."
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
that was a good request.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do always close with a verse. So if either
I
one of y'all have one,
I actually
want
want to take this one.
Oh, okay.
No
Go
offense
ahead.
to you guys. You know the Bible more than me, and I broke my microphone. But I have seen my parents walk through what you're walking through because we were very close to all our grandparents. And it just always reminded me of how I want to take care of my parents one day. And Ephesians 6:2-3 repeats a ton of what is said in the Old Testament over and over again as a law. And Ephesians 6:2-3 says, "Honor your father and mother. This is the first command with a promise, that it may go well with you and that you may live long in the land." It's awesome to watch you guys. I know some days are good and it's good to laugh, but I know it's tough because I've seen my parents go through it. But I think what people might take from this episode is just the joy of seeing you guys going through a really hard time and knowing what's on the other side of it. It's pretty inspiring. So thank you guys for just kind of sharing it with the world of something that honestly sucks, but
Yeah.
really impressive what y'all are doing.
Much appreciated. I appreciate it. It has been a difficult year.
Well, it's just
So.
it's life.
Well,
In honor of Phil.
It's life.
Can somebody
Hey,
bring a
hard
boy a
day.
rump roast?
and on our field, you gotta eat.
You
Don't
got-
you?
Hey,
Don't
Can I have a
you?
rump roast for crying out
Hey.
loud?
slide a rump roast in here
That's right.
now.
Throw a steak in there once in a while.
Oh, we'll see y'all next time right here in the duck call room. We're out.
Oh, man.